Chapter 471, Taking on a Master? Humanity's sacred training land Primal Chaos City, within an unimportant-looking training quarters resting room. Luo Feng sat in a chair, lowering his head to look at the books the black-robed messenger had left before. There were these words on the book. If one is able to pass the 18th level, he would be a true elite amongst humanity, a subsect leader amongst the undying. They will immediately receive the right to become eternal members of Primal Chaos City, also able to open a subsect within the city and accept students, receiving respect from others. And the people who come here to train, as long as they pass the 3rd level, they can go listen to these classes. You can listen to any one of the leaders teach. However, if you want to become a particular leader's student, then the first time you go listen, you have to choose that particular leader as a show of respect, and requesting to be his disciple later. If the leader agrees, then that would be a success. Remember, unless you have no intentions of finding a master, otherwise whoever you want to be a student of, that first attendance has to be at his door, that is respect. Finishing up the text, Luo Feng understood why the black-robed messenger emphasized the importance of the first attendance. Finding a master? Luo Feng frowned. Finding a teacher is good, Luo Feng. Those able to teach in Primal Chaos City are subsect leaders among the Undyings, all with the title Emperor. Babata shouted excitedly, when you are weak and small, having an absolute being to guide you is an incredibly important matter. For example, if True Yen Emperor hadn't given you the advice to learn floating blood, you might have taken a wrong path like other normal warriors. I already have a teacher. Luo Feng was troubled. No problem. Babata didn't seem to care. The strong within the universe have incredibly long lifespans. They may find a teacher in the Star Traveler level, another in the Universe level, and when they become Sector Lords, another one after. At different levels of strengths they have different perspectives. The teacher they require will be different too. A warrior having tens of teachers is very normal. Luo Feng nodded. The universe was like that, to be able to rank amongst the top 1,000 of geniuses in the entire universe. Who doesn't have a few teachers? Also, if any of them were to be accepted by universe country leaders as disciples, they'd all be extremely excited. Back when Rong Jun was accepted by the Yuanchen country leader, it made many green with envy. Who do I choose? Luo Feng looked at the 18 sub-sect leaders and their information on the book within the 9 universe sect. These were all leaders amongst Undyings. Much stronger than his previous teacher of the Yun Mo planet, the Yun Mo planet master could barely gain the title official, and these leaders were all strong even amongst the emperors. Many of their disciples were all Undyings. Who do I choose? Who? Luo Feng muttered, very quickly scanning all their information. Within Primal Chaos City, there are a total of 18 leaders under the 9 universe. These 18, 4 of them belong to the Virtual Universe Company. They are Flame Dragon Emperor, True Yen Emperor, 1000 Dream Emperor and Blade Emperor. They all seem really terrifying. Flame Dragon Emperor? I've seen him in action. Babata shouted excitedly, back when your teacher and I entered the universe secret area, enduring a perilous journey through a planet engulfed in ice, I personally saw within that ice. Flame Dragon Emperor immediately became a star and burnt 10 Undyings who surrounded him to a crisp. They couldn't be more dead. He became a star? Luo Feng was shocked. Even more terrifying than a normal star? Undyings could easily destroy a star. However, the star that he transformed into, in terms of temperature, was much higher than a normal star, with one move destroying 10 Undyings, of which 2 were humans and the rest were automaton and other races. Flame Dragon Emperor was an extremely terrifying being. Luo Feng held his breath. Even the bastard that killed your teacher back then couldn't kill your teacher in one move. I didn't expect him to actually be teaching here in Primal Chaos City now. Babata exclaimed. Flame Dragon Emperor, True Yen Emperor, 1000 Dream Emperor and Blade Emperor. Luo Feng looked at these 4's information, his eyes filled with anticipation. The warriors within Primal Chaos City were mostly separated into 5 main groups: Virtual Universe Company, Huge Axe Dojo, Universe First Bank, Universe Galaxy Bank, Universe Mercenary Alliance. Only very few had no huge power backing them. Within a mansion. Haha, Blade Emperor, don't get overconfident. The ape-man warrior True Yen laughed loudly. Why don't you take a look? A man in purple armor and carrying a golden blade on his back laughed loudly. Of you 3, one's an ape-man, another a dragon man, and another always cold and gloomy. Only I look the most like a human of Earth. If he doesn't choose me, who will he choose? Blade, looking for a master doesn't rely on looks. With 2 dragon horns and a face full of red scales, eyes as though they were 2 mini planets. Flame Dragon, in terms of strength, I don't lose to you. Blade Emperor laughed. Blade is too proud. From what I see, he's miscalculated this time. A dreamy-like appearance, a blurry man in a black robe sat at a side. However, this Luo Feng is indeed considered a rare seedling from over 100 million years within our 9-universe sect. He actually managed to comprehend the first blade form of the floating blood in 10 years. His talent is really high, very powerful. Hence, he has to be my disciple. I use a blade. Blade Emperor laughed. The 4 of them were of the 9-universe sect, all members of the Virtual Universe Company, leaders amongst the Undying, teachers in Primal Chaos City. Naturally, their relationships were good. Once in a while, the 4 would gather and chat and discuss, even compete and learn from another. As for Luo Feng, he was an unexpected surprise for the 9-universe sect. Every group of geniuses from the competitions had the most outstanding, like this time's was Bolin, even considered the most outstanding for 10 million years. Luo Feng initially didn't gain too much recognition from these 4. However, after he passed the 2nd and 3rd level consecutively, it was obvious he had comprehended the first blade form in 10 years. This talent others didn't know. Only these 4 studying the 9-universe tablet were extremely clear. Terrifying. Extremely terrifying. To be able to study the essence of what Lien Luo did with the space laws, one had to be an absolute genius, with strong mentality and comprehension. If one couldn't comprehend the first form in 20 years, that meant he had no hope, and Luo Feng did it in 10. Bolin had too much of a lead initially, if we don't count his initial lead, just in terms of improvement speed. This Luo Feng doesn't lose to Bolin at all. The black-robed man said softly, complimenting, maybe in the past 100 million years there were others comparable to him. However, they didn't necessarily pick our 9-universe. Our 9-universe has hardly seen a genius like this in the past 100 million years. Flame Dragon exclaimed. How can we not nurture a genius like that? The 4 all heavily recognized Luo Feng, this sort of rare gem seedling. It was normal for all of them to favor him, because this level of genius, if he didn't fall, would have high chances of later becoming an official or emperor. To be able to nurture a disciple that would become an emperor, their own position would be raised greatly. The student-master relationship was a very reliant one. Blade, no use being confident now, just wait, we'll see who he picks. Tru Yen rubbed his golden fur on his chin, laughing. Then we'll see. Blade Emperor said confidently. Flame Dragon and 1000 Dream Emperor both laughed. After a few days, in a special spot in the virtual universe. In a majestic shrine floating in the clouds, Tru Yen immediately appeared within the plaza. In it stood many guards, some tall and short, however they all had one common similarity, they were all ape-man. Be it black fur, golden fur, or long-armed, their color, height and structures all had differences, but they were all ape-man. Humph. Tru Yen's expression was heavy as he took big strides through the door of the shrine. Your Majesty! Your Majesty! The guards all bowed respectfully. Tru Yen immediately rushed into the shrine. In the thrones within there were already 16 other ape-man. All their expressions changed as they saw Tru Yen enter. What's the matter? Tru Yen rushed in, his gaze sweeping past the 16, roaring, the name list for the large alliance. How come there's only one slot for my Kahan clan? Tru Yen, you didn't care about matters being in Primal Chaos City. This is something we and the other leaders discussed and decided on. A 20 tall black fur ape-man's voice rumbled, resounding across the entire hall. Rubbish. Tru Yen pointed at the huge ape-man before him. Our sacred ape-man shrine has 18 leaders. Now that the sage doesn't meddle in the affairs, everything is decided by the 18 of us. I am one of the leaders. Usually I couldn't care less, however don't push things too far. If your King Kong clan can have 4 slots, why has my Kahan clan only been given 1? Tru Yen, that black ape-man roared. Shut up. Tru Yen's gaze swept past every one of them. Just because I don't usually bother with these affairs, don't play me for a fool. If you are really unhappy, I don't mind having a real match in reality. I'll immediately seal all of you. The other 15 were stunned, yet they didn't dare make a sound. Tru Yen Emperor was indeed an absolute warrior amongst the ape-man race. He was also a being closest to receiving the title Knight. He normally didn't care much about the ape-man matters. Follow EU Stories at n/VELB/in.com. One thing, I don't wish to bully anyone, but don't take me for a fool. Tru Yen gazed at everyone. If any such matter happens again, I won't be discussing this in the virtual universe with you, but I'll head straight to where you live. Humph. Finishing, Tru Yen turned and left. Ape-man, they were highly populated throughout the humanity of the universe. They could be seen anywhere. But even the ape-man race was separated into tens of thousands of clans. This ape-man sacred shrine was the upper echelon of all of them. This Tru Yen actually bothers about such matters. Isn't he training in Primal Chaos City to become a knight? A skinny ape-man leader with fiery red eyes said softly. Looks like Tru Yen still keeps a watch on his Kahan clan. These leaders were helpless.